In this video, I'll be showing you how to review keywords to find below average ad relevance scores and determine what to do with them. So we're going to be doing this every 2 weeks. We're going to be doing this by ad group, and we're going to be setting our time frame to 6 weeks. So let's go to Google Ads. Let's go ahead and set up our time frame to about a month and a half. Click apply. And from here, we are going to filter by conversion. And then we are going to come over and look at our ad relevance score. If you don't have the ad relevance score, you can go to columns in order to add that as a column. So first thing we're checking for is we're checking the top converting keywords to see what their typical ad relevance scores are to determine what to do with ad relevance scores that are below average. So as you can see here, everything is above average except the top performer. So what we can see here is basically this one accounts for approximately 85% of the conversions in this ad group over the past 6 weeks, but it has a below average ad relevance score. So typically, if this is the case, it means Google's wrong. It means that your ad is actually getting in front of the correct people. And if we come down here and look at the average click-through rate and the average conversion rate, we can back this up with data because as we can see, the average interaction rate and the average conversion rate are also around the average for the entire ad group. This does have to do with the fact that it is heavily weighted. So in terms of like what data is being pulled from, this is making up 85% of the data that calculates the average. But if any of these keywords had better performance because they have above average ad relevance, that Google would be promoting them more if they were in fact better keywords more suited for our ads. So essentially what we're doing with this is we're going to check over the ad real quick to see if it's got this keyword in it, and if it has the word lawn care, which is the main word in this keyword. If it has it more than twice and Google is still saying that this is a below average ad relevance, there's not much we can do about that. That's typically how Google determines ad relevance, is it needs to make sure that the keywords inside the ad and Google is still saying it's below average. There's typically some other problem. So as you can see, the quality score here is relatively low. The landing page experience is average. And as you can see here, for most of these, the landing page experience, nothing is above average. They're either average or below average. It's possible that the click-through rate is a little bit lower. Those are the three parts of the quality score. It's ad relevance, click-through rate, and landing page experience. But what we are going to find when we look at the actual ad that it's showing for, if we go into campaigns, if we go into ads, and then we just view asset details, we're looking for headlines that say lawn care in them. And we're going to want to sort by impressions. So what we can see here is a lot of the top performing headlines do not have lawn care in them. So we're looking to see if the headline lawn care is actually there. So we're going to sort by asset type. Let's reverse that because we want to just look at headlines. So we see lawn care near me is there. But as you can see here, the impressions are just not very high. Essentially, this means that Google really isn't showing that headline enough for our ad group. So it's possible that what we can do in order to fix this is actually make an entirely new ad group specifically dedicated to lawn care near me, because it seems that Google is actually not lining up what should be one of our best performing headlines, because this is the exact match of the keyword that we're trying to show for, and its impressions are low compared to some of the better performing headlines. So a solution to that is to create an entirely new ad group and only put keywords that have lawn care in them. So if we go back to our search keywords, what we would do here is we would take all of the keywords that have to do with lawn care, so the two top performing ones, and then we would make a ad group with an ad that is dedicated specifically to showing ads for people specifically looking for lawn care and looking for lawn care near them. So a lot of the headlines will have the word lawn care in them. It will have an additional qualifier that says near me next to a lot of the headlines. So that is how we would go about fixing that and trying to get a better ad relevance score. And so we would almost run this as an A/B test. We would keep these this ad group the exact same. We would not pause these keywords. We would just make a separate ad group with lawn care near me and lawn care, and then create another ad with more specific headlines to these two keywords. And we would compare the performance after 4 weeks to see which ad group performed better for these keywords. And then from there, we would be able to determine, okay, maybe it is better to change them into their own ad group. Or if we see that the new ad group actually didn't perform that well, then we can be like, okay, it's not worth putting in their own ad group. We just need to leave it how it is. We make a note of that so that way in the future, when we're going back through edits, we don't run through that same process again and waste our time and budget. So we're going to go look at another account so that way you can see what this looks like in different industries. So what we can see here is this is a very specific ad group in terms of it does not have a lot of keywords. However, the quality score for our top performing or top converting keyword is below average. Everything about it is below average. So in order to fix this, we're going to want to essentially change up everything about this campaign. We're going to want to go into ads. We're going to want to make sure that the headlines line up with auto repair near me. So we're going to view asset details. We're going to go look at headlines. And we're looking for auto repair near me. So if there's no headline that says auto repair near me, then that is a problem. Okay, so we can see here that auto repair near me is actually a headline, but it's one of the lowest showing headlines. So this means that some of the headlines that are actually being shown are not as relevant, and we should probably try to change them out. So something that I'm seeing right here, family owned and operated, that's great and all. It's a great qualifier. It's good for people to know about your business, but it is not as important as telling them exactly what you're offering them. So what I would recommend here is changing this out with another qualifying auto repair headline. So something along the lines of auto repair in a specific location. Maybe we try to rephrase another headline that's doing well. So full service auto repair shop. Instead of that, we can try full service auto repair near me instead of this headline, because as we can see, this headline is probably getting too many views for all of the other headlines that we should be showing for our top keywords. Because as you saw in our search keywords, the keywords we're really going for is auto repair. So we want to be really pushing that in our headlines, and then obviously making sure that any additional headlines that talk about our unique value proposition for the clients, we want to make sure that that is relevant to auto repair. So family owned and operated might not be as good as saying affordable prices or something like that, because typically people care more about the prices of their auto repair than they do about who's actually doing the auto repair. Additionally, landing page experience is below average, so we'd probably want to test a new URL, but you can go watch our video on how to adjust landing pages based on below average landing page experiences. And we're going to check out one final ad group to really get you a full idea of how we go about making these adjustments for different industries. So one thing that can be quite infuriating with Google is that it doesn't always show your ad relevance or quality score. So there's not much that we can really do about that, because as you can see, 34 impressions, 3 clicks, and it's showing our ad relevance score. But this one has 1,000 impressions and over 100 clicks, but it's not showing our ad relevance score. So unfortunately, when it shows this, there's not much we can do in terms of knowing if our headlines are relevant enough for the keywords that they're showing for, and we really just have to wait for more data. What we can do is try, as you can see here, the ad group only started around May 27th. So if we try to filter it down to more recent data, it's possible that it can give us an ad relevant score. But as you can see here, it did not do that for us in this case. It's just a thing for you to try if you have a wide range of data, but you don't have your campaign running for that entire time. You can try to filter it down by a smaller time frame to see if it works. A lot of the times it just takes a little bit of time for Google to calculate it. So if it's not showing up right now, check back in 4 weeks and hopefully it will start showing up for these keywords. Hopefully that gives you a quick understanding of how to adjust your headlines for specific keywords based on their ad relevance. Be sure to keep in mind that you know your business best. Google does not. It does know how people react to your ads and such. But if you are getting decent performance out of your keywords and Google is saying that you have a below average ad score, or in the reverse, if you're not getting good performance and Google is saying that you have an above average ad relevance score, you need to kind of use common sense and be like, okay, if I'm getting good performance out of these keywords, but Google says my headlines aren't good, that can't be true. So keep that in mind. And then if you're not getting good performance, but Google says that you have above average headlines, you might still want to try switching out some headlines just to see if you can get some higher click-through rates and try to get some more performance coming from some of those keywords. Feel free to reach out to Creekside Marketing if you need any help with this. It can get a little overwhelming at times, and we'd be happy to help. We'll see you in the next video.